During the Africa CEO Forum that is held or being held in Cote d'Ivoire, in the capital city of Abidjan, the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa, for the question that was raised from the moderator, he answered that actually the Afrikaners that are leaving South Africa, the white Afrikaners that are leaving South Africa to the United States, are not or do not qualify to be a refugee because he gave his definition of a refugee, which is a worldwide agreed definition. And he showed that those people do not qualify that definition. Now, I'll tell you about what the CEO forum, the Africa CEO Forum is, and also the cause of those Afrikaners, leaving, why they are leaving South Africa. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa. So let me share this with you, this video that was held, this conference, the Africa CEO Forum. It started on the 12th of May, and it's a 2 days event. Also, it will continue on the 13th of May. Paul Kagame, last year it was in Rwanda, Kigali. This year it's in Abidjan. It's here.
Concern because those people who are being enticed to go to the United States do not fit the definition of a refugee. A refugee is someone who has to leave their country out of fear of political persecution, religious persecution, or economic persecution. And
that's what the United States says they're undergoing in South Africa. That's why they've opened the door for them.
Yes, and they don't fit that bill. They don't fit that description. And I had a conversation with President Trump on the phone, and he said, what's happening down there? And I said, President, what you've been told by those people who are opposed to transformation back home in South Africa is not true. And I added to him, I said, we were well taught by Nelson Mandela and other iconic leaders like Oliver Tambo on how to continue to build a united nation out of the diverse groupings that we have in South Africa. We're the only country on the continent where the colonizers came to stay, and we have never driven them out of our country. So they are staying, and they're making great progress. It's a fringe grouping that does not have a lot of support, that is anti-transformation and anti-change, that would actually prefer to see South Africa going back to apartheid type of policies. And I said to him, I would never do that. I learned at the feet of Nelson Mandela, and we intend to proceed with the implementation of our constitutional architecture. And I thought in my conversation with him early in the morning at 4 o'clock South African time, he understood that. And I said, I'd like to come and meet him so that we can discuss this matter further. So those people who have fled are not being persecuted. They are not being, hounded. They are not being treated badly. And they are leaving ostensibly because they don't want to embrace the changes that are taking place in our country in accordance with our constitution. So we think that the American government has got the wrong end of the stick here, but we'll continue talking to them.
So a face-to-face meeting is coming up. Is Elon Musk invited when you have that face-to-face meeting?
Well, I don't know. They will determine.
I think well said by President Ramaphosa, a very good answer. Those people are not under the fear of political, religious, or economic persecution. In fact, the economy is largely controlled by those white Afrikaners in South Africa. I don't know for what reason. They wouldn't get even the lives that they are living like in South Africa if they go outside of South Africa. But in any case, they say that there's little option that is left. There are actually less than 100 people. To be, precise, I think I have a figure here. They are 50-something people. Yeah, 54. 54, yeah, and out of the 54, 48 are prepared to leave, and the country, the United States, is sending a chartered plane for them, as if these people are persecuted for something. I mean, I don't know what they told President Trump, but in any case, you have to know that the United States and South Africa have a very strained relationship lately. First of all, you have, South Africa taking Israel to the ICJ for genocide crime with its war that's going on between Israel and Hamas or Palestine. And also South Africa is a strong ally of Russia. And in fact, at one point, the United States accused South Africa, alleging that South Africa is providing or supplying weapon to Russia. Imagine. I mean, if it is the other way, it might make sense. But yeah, South Africa is supplying and to Russia that must have been, accused by the United States during this Ukraine-Russia war. That's number two. Number three, South Africa is a founder of BRICS, a very strong ally of Russia, and others. Russia and South Africa, their relationship goes way back. Russia, as it's the case in most of African states during colonization, Russia has been an ally in their fight against freedom when the whole world or the West has sanctioned them from buying weapons. Russia has helped that. So also for South Africa, who is which is the last country to go out of colonization, Russia has helped in their struggle against apartheid. So all these things added, and the latest one, after Trump came to power with all his new, policies and trade tariffs and this and that, whatnot. The South African embassy, the South African ambassador has left the United States, and he came back to South Africa, and he received actually heroic reception back home in South Africa. So all these are, the background situations that are surrounding the relation between South Africa and the United States. Now, for these people to go to the US saying that, we are left with nothing, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, much of the economy is controlled by these white people. But anyway, they are just 54, and out of the 54, it's the 48 people that are prepared to go. And in all this, I think a week ago or something, South Africa's president, as you have heard him, Ramaphosa, and Trump have talked over the phone. There were a delegation during was it convened by IMF or something, or World Bank, the delegations that went from South Africa tried to meet the government officials in the United States. But finally, Trump and Ramaphosa have talked over the phone, and they even, Ramaphosa, as you heard him, he proposed to meet Trump in his country. So let's see how that falls out, whether Ramaphosa will go to meet him. If so, what are the changes that's going to happen? But, a lot of people, Black people, go and for whatever reason leaves the country and they die this and that happened now, about 48 people who are, living in a very, very better situation than the local people. I don't think we should even worry about that, but it shows you, it's important to show you how Ramaphosa addressed it, how they see it, from what angle South Africa is coming. I want to add on the point that he said, okay, when he said, I learned under the feet of the iconic leader, Madiba, Nelson Mandela, and he showed, or he led by example, that how this diversified people should live together in harmony. And that's the case, also in Ethiopia, for the 5 years the Italians were there. I mean, it's not a colonization because still Ethiopia was fighting. They did not colonize, but they were there. And they were during the fight, when they left, the government, Emperor Haile Selassie, he went in exile. He was in exile in UK, in England, and he came back. So he said he did not chase them away, these Italians. And there were also other Armenians and other few white people. I think it's just Armenians and Italians. He said, those of you who have business, you can continue till you. This shows you the moral standard, the mentality of these African people. They're not evil. And, they have still a heart to welcome them. And, as long as you abide by the rule, you can live with us. And they told their people not to touch them. Isn't that great, really? Yeah. But anyway, let us know in the comment section what do you think of Ramaphosa's answer with regards to those white Afrikaners, whether they qualified to be a refugee or not, and how he handled it. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.